Hello and welcome to my channel, which is going to be based on the Total War game series. I'm just coming back from basically having a new gaming PC now, so trying to get back in it. This YouTube channel is going to be known as RSP Gaming. My name is Richard. And basically, as a bit of a background, I've played Rome and the Total War games since 2004 when Rome came out. And then played after that Medieval, Shogun 2, Empires, coming all the way back up to Attila. Unfortunately, when I got to Attila, my previous gaming PC wasn't a good enough spec to be able to really play Attila. So I kind of stopped at that point, so I haven't played any of the newer games. But when the remastered game came out, I thought I'd give it another go with a newer computer, so getting back into it and bringing back a bit of nostalgia. I have played a little bit with my father, who's got it on his computer. He plays it very different to me. He's quite a flash attack kind of person. He'll go out, recruit lots of men as quickly as possible and take as much land as quickly as possible. Whereas myself, I'm more of a defensive gamer. I love a good defensive siege where you're completely outnumbered. I generally like to build up my cities and my troop, how good my troops are, and then try and expand when I know I've got the better unit types. So let's go into the Imperial campaign. The troop size is, I believe, set to large. We're going to have advice as none. Campaign difficulty I'm going to set to hard. Depending on how we find it, we'll probably end up setting it to very hard, but as it's going to be first full campaign for, well, since Attila came out several years ago, well, it's probably, what, 5 or 6 years ago or not more now, I'm going to leave it at that. And as far as battle difficulty goes, I believe the difference between that's mainly the morale differences. On easy, I believe, we get a boost, and I think on hard and very hard, they get a boost. So to kind of keep it just a level playing field, I'd rather it be more about what we do on the campaign map dictates what happens in the battles, rather than whether their troops have got a better morale than my men kind of thing. So I'm going to leave that at medium, which is quite neutral. I'm going to start as the Julii, because I quite like the starting position of the Julii. I probably will do more campaigns as we go on, but for now I'm going to leave it as the Julii. And yeah, let's get started. I've just played through this. I believe this is slightly different from the original, so we'll just watch this.
Gods. I hate Gauls. My grandfather hated them too, even before they put out his eyes. Did you think I'd be out here on the frontier without good reason? Yes. Rome needs a strong frontier. No! Rome doesn't need unwashed barbarians at her gates. So, that's why I'm here. The leader of the Julii, to bring Roman order to stinking Gauls. Revenge? That'd be good too. This war against the Gauls won't last long. And when it's done, I've got plans. This is all about power. Power in Rome.
This definitely seems different from what it was previously.
My rivals, the Senate, the Greeks, those Carthaginian elephant riders, the Scipii and the Brutii families too. After all, the man who controls Rome rules the world, and one day I will be emperor.
Okay, so that was interesting. I would like to try and do a campaign with each of the different kind of unit type kind of factions. So I'd like to do one with the Greeks, maybe a barbarian based one. I don't think I've ever done a Northern African one, so I might have done a Carthaginian one, but I don't think I've ever done like an Egyptian one. So that'd be quite nice, and I believe I've done Parthia before as well. So as the Julii, then we've got a mission already to take that small rebel town to the left. We've got a small fleet of a couple. Yep, couple. We'll join these two troops together because one of them's going to have to stay and govern this one when we take it. We're going to put the diplomat on the fleet, and I'm going to send the diplomat to southern Spain. And my aim is there, basically, then marching through Europe to try and find as many different factions as possible to get trade rights settled. The spy can head over to the rebel city. I believe if I flick through here, that should just flick us between the different agents. These Hastati groups can join the army, and we might as well take the town watch as well, because they can help improve the public order in this town over here when we take it. We've got 5,000 denarii to begin with, so let's see what we've got in these from. So at the minute, just get familiarised myself with this again, try and figure out where we are with everything. So that town's at 130 happiness, this one's only at 95. 3% population growth, 3% population growth. Population's 3,500 as opposed to 4,000. Tax rate's normal and tax rate's normal. Okay. So there's probably not a deal more we can do this turn. So that's just the bodyguard of that character. I do know you can move, I've never realised whether you could do it in the original games or not, but you can move traits and followers around, which is something I'm going to try and make the most of going forward. We'll maybe look into that a bit further later on, but obviously as far as governing traits, you want that to be in your main cities with your governors, and obviously things that'll help on the battlefield, you generally want that to be with your obviously your leaders and commanders out on the battlefield. So you want the kind of right traits with the right people. And obviously as people generally get older, I mean, he's 47, obviously as people get to a certain age, you're going to want to then start moving maybe the traits over to younger family members so they're not lost when they die. But yeah, still getting used to obviously, we've got a family tree button, so we've still got that. So at the minute we've got our wife and 3 children. And there we go, that's the better version of it, that's the full screen. So basically it's us at the top and then 3 children directly below them, with then their own children underneath. Glad that I put that in there, it makes it a little more easier. So they're just some of the menus we've got at the minute, so I think we might as well end turn now and well no, but actually we'll see if there's any building we can do, keep the building rates up. So at the minute we've got a wall, we've got roads, land clearance, governor's villa, and we've got a barracks. So as far as recruitment goes, we should be able to recruit in these towns. Let's see what the recruitment says. Okay, so we can make a Hastati, and we can't make a Hastati in that one, so cavalry would definitely be worth getting at some point. So let's see what buildings we can build. Okay, so to help with public order, I think it's definitely worth probably getting a shrine to begin with, but could do with seeing the building trees first to find out which shrine's possibly the better one to go with. So if we look at the end goal here, they've got overall 45% public order bonus and a 2.5% to population growth. That one's 60%, but only 1% public or population growth. So 45 compared to 60 is quite a difference. And then this one is also 60 and again only 1%. So really, you want to get to the better level buildings, you want to be able to get the population to grow quite rapidly. So at the minute, I think the best thing to aim for is that one, which will encourage population growth. So that means Shrine to series at the minute, so that's what we'll aim for to begin with. Okay, so that's what we'll do to begin with then. So let's build that. Jupiter. There you go, series. And the other thing, to be honest, when I was growing up as a child playing this, or a teenager, I didn't really realise that recruiting things then took that troops the unit count. So if you had 40 in your troop, was deducted from the population amount. So if I recruit a unit, for instance, what's our units? Our units are at 80 in this one. Yeah, set to 80 currently. So if I recruit a unit of 80, that means the population is going to decrease by 80. So if you wanted to grow your village or your town to get to the next settlement level, obviously recruiting out of it's going to hinder that a lot. So I do quite push for population growth. So we'll do the same. We'll do the same in this one to begin with, and that'll leave us with 4,200. We don't need to recruit anything yet, I don't think, because we have got some kind of, or at least the beginnings of an army, and they only take 1 turn to produce, so we'll save some money back to build another building straight after. So we'll end turn there. The other thing I just want to note, I'm going to try and keep these videos to about half an hour at a time, to try and obviously not make them too long when we upload them, basically, just to keep people a little more interested in the long term. So trade rights with the Gauls, I'm not particularly wanting to do that because that's going to be the first place we go to attack, so having trade rights with them wouldn't help our reputation if we then went back on that immediately, so I'm going to decline that. Yeah, there we go.
Until next time.
So what else happens? First things first. The boat over a bit further. It'll be interesting to see on the map how quickly the other factions decide to expand. Okay. So we'll send them up to join with them, and then attack that. Now they're going to need... Oh no, it doesn't look like we've got a wall around it. It looks like we can attack straight away. Yeah, so we might as well just go straight in and should be relatively straightforward. Just some barbarian peasants and some warband. So we'll load it up. You'll have to excuse the quality of this recording possibly and what we're doing. It's the first time I've tried to do anything like this, so I'm using what equipment I've got basically, and hopefully going to improve it as the series goes on. But if anyone's got any comments or suggestions on anything that I'd improve it, please let me know.
Silly. We are neither, and so look to our own strength to preserve us. Onwards.
Start deployment.
Units, on my orders.
So we're kind of at a corner here. So let's move everybody over a little bit.
Units, hurry, hurry.
So we'll keep the town watch back because they're really only here for public order once they leave the settlement. We've got the generals over here. What else have we got? So we've got that's 4 troops of Astarte, 2 other troops of Astarte. I'm not sure if we can walk through there or not, or whether or not we have to go round the paths. If they do, I might sit them there to come from a different direction. In fact, I'll keep 2 of them over here and we'll send them in with the archers and the velites. I'm going to keep them in skirmish mode. Highlight all the Astarte because they don't seem to have fire at will turned on automatically, so we'll turn that on. And yeah, I say there's nothing too much to worry about in this because it should be relatively straightforward. So we'll box them into there. Same for these guys over here. Oh, maybe they can fit through after all, so I'll send them over to there and maybe we can fit more directly in. I don't think there's any point waiting too long with this really. Might just fast forward it and get them a bit closer, a bit quicker. It's relatively simple, straightforward. Interesting which direction these go. They are heading for that gap on it, appears. I haven't got any cavalry or anything yet for doing manoeuvres or anything to try and position things, so we'll just go straight in. Might hold some back a little bit once they start firing the pellets. Straight in. Okay. Thought they were going to stand and fire. Right. Tell them to run now. I always get a bit worried when you've got archers and velites firing over the top of your own guys, because I do believe you get friendly fire, but these should stop now and at least throw a repel them. Starting to throw them now. Takes it a bit of a while. This is one thing that's obviously a bit could be improved on, and whether the newer games do this better, but obviously the remaster is more of a reskin, and obviously they've not touched too much of the base game code, so yeah, definitely could do that a bit quicker, but yeah, we'll get in there. Probably going to send them to hold now, simply because I think we'll end up killing more of our own men. Now, they won't run away or anything here because they're on the centre square of the settlement, so they're not going to go anywhere. Quite like the graphical improvements. They actually have proper feet now by the looks of it, rather than just, I'm sure in the original game they just had these little points for feet instead of actual feet. So yeah, it looks a lot nicer. Obviously still a completely different beast to Rome 2, but
be praised! The enemy general is dead! His men know their doom approaches!
okay, so that's that settlement taken.
And this day is clearly our victory!
Here we go. So we did lose 31 men there. Could move the Hastati back possibly to the previous city and retrain them, depending on how many casualties there was.
Victory and glory!
So to begin with, because this is going to be one of the settlements hopefully we'll have as our main recruiting settlement, I'm just going to occupy it for now. The reason I quite like this section here is because you've got these two northern ones here, and then these three here. I think they make a good set of 5 cities together, or towns, and you can quite quickly form an army up if you make them and march the army to wherever you need them to go. That's kind of how I quite like to go with it going forward. We'll march him up here somewhere into Gaul, see what we can see. Oh, we've got a rebel army there as well, which we'll probably take. So let's see what's what here then. So we'll leave the town watch behind, and we'll probably leave the faction leader here as well and take his son.
Orders?
Theoretically, we want to take all of them out and march them round to here. That town stayed happy, which is good. I'd like to have the party leader actually, or the faction leader, in the main town, or the larger town. So I'm thinking I'd probably want to swap him with him at some point, but obviously he's not going to have the movement. Oh, he has got the movement to do it, so we'll move him over there. And we'll move him over there just to swap them around a little bit. There we go. I'm pretty sure that Town Watch could come out, but we'll give it a little time first before we do that. So the army can't move any further. The spy can slightly, so we might as well send him that way. We move the fleet. So let's just see what's in our new town. So as far as population goes, it's a lot smaller than the other towns. So okay, so we can build some Roman buildings. I'd like to get a wall up because I think that'll help straight away. So we'll put a wall up first. And so it's in the queue, I'll probably put the Shrine to Ceres up as well. And just get it in the queue queued up. I think stables would be going to be worth it to try and get some. But I used to like war dogs in the previous game, but I don't know if they've been changed slightly now, because they was very powerful in the old game if used correctly. So yeah, let's put some stables in, which will take 3 turns, so that'll keep them busy for a while. And what else have we got? And we'll make a military barracks here, so we can do a starting in at least 2 settlements. So that'll be useful. I will probably start forming up another army here as well, but again, like I said, I'm quite slow with my expanding, so we'll just build 1 troop there for now. We'll queue 2 up just in case. We've still got nearly 5,000 denarii. We're building in all 3 of them. Can't move any further now, so I could recruit here, but it's only going to be Town Watch really, so it's not really much use. I might build another diplomat though and start sending him out just to try and get some more trade links out, because I believe that's really going to help with just financially. And where the previous one, when we drop him in the south of Spain, will march up maybe through the north of Europe, get into Britain, Germany, and across that way. We'll probably send this one down here around the Greek states. I don't know if there's still a land bridge here or not, or whether you have to turn around and go back, but then obviously we can go straight across there maybe. We'll have to see. Right, so we'll end turn, and well, we should have thinking about it. Look at these messages. End of turn report, yeah. Construction report. Mission was a success. Oh, we've been gifted 5,000 denarii. Okay. And then just to say they're at war with one another. Okie dokie. So, end turn. Doesn't take very long at the beginning. So we've got their diplomat. Okay. Merchant. Interestingly, where has that rebel army gone? So they want me to go take that off the Gaul. Okay, that's achievable. End of turn report. Yep. And recruitment. There we go. So we should have a diplomat in here now. So we'll start to send him on his journeys. Ah, there we go. There's that rebel ready. Okay, so again we'll move the fleet further around.
Set sail!
Yes, 155. So I think they're quite good to lose a troop of Town Watch now. Let's get to the. Oh, they've got the building because we set 2 up previously. They're still building and they're still building. So there's nothing from a building point of view we can do. From a recruitment point of view, they've still got a troop of Hussari. So basically, the only thing to do then is to attack this rebel army. Is there anything else to mention in there? Path blocked, war declared. Okay, yeah, that's to be expected. So basically I'm going to end this first video here at the 25-minute mark before we go and attack this rebel army. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to see more, like and subscribe, and basically any comments, let me know, and we'll try and improve anything where you think could be improved, or anything interesting you've got to say. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you in the next video.